Okay, let's get something out of the way. I love music. I'm sure you do too. And I'm not the pickiest person when it comes to what I listen to, but I think it's safe to say that everyone likes to listen to music they think is good. And I know, good is a relative term, it's an opinion. Well, unluckily for you, I have a lot of opinions, and today I'm going to talk about one of them. The music on the popular television show Steven Universe is, if you'll pardon my French, gosh dang amazing. It has this special knack for pressing all the right buttons to bring out the waterworks, or even just kicking the show quality up that extra notch. The music is just... man, it's so good. Now let's talk about why. Well, part of it is just really well done storytelling. Rebecca Sugar and the other writers of the show have really mastered the ability to tell complex and beautiful stories while still maintaining the fun and carefree nature of a kids' show. Warning, there may be a few spoilers ahead, so if you're not all caught up, please proceed at your own risk. In the episode Full Disclosure, the premise is Steven returning to Earth after a huge fight between the Crystal Gems and Jasper. He has just seen a lot of things he is still processing, and in the midst of all that, he is worried about getting Connie involved. The story of the show so often and so beautifully sets up characters to sing anyway, and this is no exception. The audience is already on board with the story of the episode, so when the show hands us a melodically beautiful piece of music, and the lyrics showcase Steven trying to handle the challenges presented in the episode, of course we're going to empathize. The writers know what they're doing. Creating a successful children's show is way more difficult than one might expect. Kids are smarter than we often give them credit for, and they can understand a lot, but they still aren't always able to digest complicated and overly intense storylines in the same way adults can. This is why Steven Universe is such a smart show. Rebecca Sugar's music isn't just simple songs about what the characters are doing to keep the audience engaged and maybe singing along. It goes a lot deeper than that. So let's delve. When Steven Universe first started airing on Cartoon Network, it fell into a lot of the same cliched styles of humor as many kids' shows do, with Steven as the quirky young protagonist and Pearl, Garnet, and Amethyst serving as very caricatured supporting roles. The show's start wasn't a rocky one, but it also wasn't that unique. Yet. The same is true of the music. The music of the show early on matches the general tone of the show itself. That is to say, the songs are all short and sweet, and they often fall into the category of comedic songs. They're fun and simple and easy enough to enjoy. But then, in the 20th episode of the first season, Coach Steven, Pearl gets to sing her first song, and it's different. Up until now, we've heard songs like Cookie Cat, a song presumably from a commercial on TV for the ice cream treat, Let Me Drive My Van Into Your Heart, one of Greg Universe's old hits, and even Giant Woman, which is a little more fleshed out, but still holds up as mostly just a very lighthearted, whimsical number. Pearl's song Strong in the Real Way, on the other hand, feels a little more real, a little more like it's about something deeper. Rebecca Sugar uses this song to give us a glimpse into Pearl's inner thoughts. This new use of song in the show starts to become more of a trend, this concept of taking ideas and feelings that are harder to express in dialogue and turning them into songs, while still keeping with the feeling of it being a kids' show, often from a kid's perspective. The deeper songs are still interspersed with comedic bits, and they never feel too difficult to tackle or overwhelmingly depressing. That said, the songs do a really incredible job of taking an idea that is harder to digest, like jealousy, guilt, unrequited love, feeling like you're not good enough, etc., and using the music to cope with these different feelings. This is why the show works so well for both children and adults. The songs are simple enough and catchy enough to keep the attention of a younger audience, while still managing to hit home with the poignant words. Add in the often jazzy tunes and you get a nice concoction of melancholy. In an interview with Rebecca Sugar, she says, "When the show is tackling heavier topics, I hope it's clear that I'm trying to tackle these topics gently and respectfully. Steven Universe is not a tragedy or a dark comedy. It will always be warm and sweet. So if a heavy topic throws that into question, I find music can keep it clear that it's meant to be a sweet and healing thing. The melody, the rhythm, and just the fact that something has to be sung instead of spoken, especially if I can write something that has that effect on me as I write it, can tell you worlds about a character and how they're feeling." And this makes sense, because we're watching this show mostly from a lens of Steven learning how to be a gem. The songs reflect his growth throughout, and the tone of songs even changes season to season. As Steven grows up, the things he is grappling with are more fleshed out, and this comes through in the music. We get to hear more of the characters' feelings on Rose and the conflict between the crystal gems and the gems from Homeworld in these songs, because Steven is starting to deal with these concepts in a more genuine way. GEM-UINE way? Bad. That was a bad pun. Anyway, there are countless examples of this, and I could honestly spend a whole video just geeking out about each song on the show, but I'll try and hold back for the sake of keeping this video a reasonable length. Things really start to shift towards the end of the first season, with Steven's new knowledge of Ruby and Sapphire's existence, and the song Stronger Than You comes in, well, strong, with lyrics that really hit the audience in how honest they are. This song in particular is also a great way to segue into another one of the show's greatest strengths in its music, the variety of styles and instrumentation we see throughout. Steven Universe doesn't just stick to one format of music. It pulls inspiration from many different genres like jazz, rock, hip-hop, etc., and these genres vary episode to episode and even character to character. The styles match with the story, and because Rebecca Sugar isn't trying to force her music into one genre, the show has a lot of wiggle room to expand its musical elements beyond what other kid shows can or do. Because the musical styles aren't random, it never feels out of place or forced. Because Garnet can sing Stronger Than You in a hip-hop style, and Pearl can captivate the audience with It's Over, Isn't It?, a lilting melodic number, and even side characters like Greg can move people with his rock and roll love songs to Rose. So it's clear that music is a very important part of this show, but I'm not quite done yet, because it isn't just the characters singing in musical theater-style outbursts about their inner thoughts and feelings. The characters often literally pick up instruments and sing, especially Greg and Steven. When this happens on the show, the songs are often simpler, and are a fantastic way to show the way that the characters interact with one another. Rose is drawn to Greg because of his music career, and because Greg and Rose are the ones who brought Steven into the world, music is also an important part of his upbringing. Seeing him and Connie singing a cute little song about jam together while Steven plays the ukulele and Connie joins in on her violin proves to us that he is close with her, that he is opening himself up to her, and vice versa. In a similar vein, Steven helps Peridot to acclimate to life on Earth through song. The song Peace and Love on the Planet Earth is a perfect example of how the characters of Steven Universe use music as a connector. Even though Greg and Pearl have so much dissonance between them, when Steven starts singing the song Both of You, they are talking instead of singing, and Steven is the only one who sings, trying to get them to work things out together. But in the next song, Don't Cost Nothing Reprise, they share a brief moment of singing together, and it shows us that even though things aren't perfect, they are learning to accept each other.
Dancing with you
don't cost nothing.
Steven brings back the line from Pearl's song in that episode, It's Over, Isn't It?, an established motif, to bring the audience to an understanding about where Pearl and Greg's relationship lies, all in the span of 49 seconds of music. There is so much I could touch on with the music of this show, but I think I'll leave you with this. Is there anything that's worth more than peace and love on the planet Earth? Okay, that was cheesy. Deal with it. Are you as big a fan of the Steven Universe music as I am? Leave a comment and tell me your favorite Steven Universe song. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more content.